What's going on, guys? Jurassic here. Today we are doing Call of Duty Cold War Zombies Outbreak Easter Egg. Alright, so you have to get to round 3 in order to start the Easter egg. So in this video we're sort of skipping around to make sure we're including just the important parts and skipping all the parts that we don't necessarily need to see. So we are on the map Ruka, and the first radio is going to be in this tent here. There's going to be feedback, which spawns in a whole bunch of zombies, so get prepared to fight. Recommend taking in a shotgun. You can take in whatever weapon that you feel comfortable with, however. If you do the guide following exactly how we did it, you should get to the final boss fight in round 5. Alright, so once we just run around, clear the area, it does take a minute. And it is easier if you actually have subtitles enabled. See how it says feedback, feedback? So once the feedback is done, it'll actually have the subtitles or whatever the static noise is. So instead of having to actually look for it, it'll be right there. So this is where that tent is. It's literally right next to Pack-a-Punch. So it's pretty easy to find on the map. See how it has the static noise popping up? So then we just run around and find the radios. So there's a radio over here to the left as soon as you exit the door. Sometimes you can switch through them without getting the feedback. Other times you're not as lucky. So then all you have to do is sit there and fight, protect it until the feedback stops, just like the last time, and then you'll be able to change the channels. I've not had a opportunity to have a feedback pop up twice and once. That was a little close. Let's run away and get a little bit of health. Then we'll come back. Alright, now that we're nice and safe, just clear all the area out. And there are going to be 3 radios, so there's another one going to be in that house, but we'll get to that once we're done. Alright, so now on to the next one, which is in this little barn looking house. So basically, if you're at the first radio, if you take a right, it'll be there. But there also is some intel right there if you guys are curious and don't have it picked up yet. Come on, another feedback, oh well.
Here's how it works. We leave a dark ether
I don't think this one is near as bad if you're upstairs. As long as you have people downstairs, they'll mostly focus down there.
Our strike team activates the rover and then do their best to keep the nasties off until it can successfully enter a rift and start sending back telemetry. The data we're getting is remarkable. I'm starting
It wasn't really part of the Easter egg, but it was kind of cool that we got free intel audio during it. Alright, so let's see here. 1, 2, and a 3.
They scream once they cross over. A lot.
Alright, now we just need the last radio to be tuned in. This one does take a little bit of searching around, so it's actually going to be outside of the compound. In this little white cabin here. And sometimes you can do it without having to get the feedback resistance, but unfortunately we weren't that lucky this playthrough. Now, if you're trying to get prepared like weapons-wise for the boss fight, if you're doing all the objectives around the world, you have a higher chance of getting better loot. Occasionally on Lava, I don't know how to pronounce that name, map name, but I can actually fish and get ray guns. So just make sure you're keeping that in mind and trying to do literally all activities around the world before you go into the next one. Alright, so now you know that all you have to do is head back to the tent, and you're basically responding to her initial call.
Hey.
Going to give you a whole bunch of loot.
Still out in the field? You're lucky. I'm under lock and key. That's Requiem.
Job well done.
They may be listening. They're always listening.
I owe you one.
Take the device to the beacon.
Thank
I
you.
will...
Alright, so now that we are fully done with this area, we are on the Ruka map, like I said earlier. Basically, you want to make sure your Pack-a-Punch, get your armor, get everything you can ready, prepared for the next wave. Then you'll head over to the beacon, and it's going to have a button where you can call Maxis. Alright, so just waiting for everyone to get ready. And then it's going to be this little phone call right here. It's going to start with some
We have a
dialogue.
secure line. I need your help. Ravenov. He's in the Ural Mountains right now. He found something. I need you to find him.
Alright. So basically, after round 3, it's going to have a set map design to where they're going to have the next map have monkeys that have a little M symbol. So we're going to go ahead and teleport. This next map is random, however, round 5 is always going to be the exact same one. And if you go to upgrade your gun, like so, apparently the game steals your weapon.
My team's on it, Carver.
Ravenov and I had hoped to meet, but I can't make it. You know why. He left a dead drop, and I need you to find it. Search for his mark. It has information about Omega's new project. Remember, Requiem doesn't know we are speaking. Make sure you complete your work as always. Act natural. You can do that, right?
So basically, all I did was click the upgrade button, and yeah, they stole my weapon. However, we're just going to continue with the Easter egg. So you want to head over to the church, and there will be a monkey. The church is on the very bottom of the map, on green and purple down here. And the monkey was right there on the top. You're looking for an M right next to the monkey. That one didn't have it. There's another monkey spawn all the way over on the other side of the map down here. Typically, there's one in the north, south, east, and west. So we are there. That monkey does not have anything, but sometimes they drop bombs or even monkeys. Alright, so we'll head over to the next area and see how this one has an M underneath on the pillar there.
Microfilm slide.
That's how you know it's part of the Easter egg.
Oh, Ravenov, what are you up to? You should find a way to view them.
Alright, so basically it's going to give you a little fisheye, which takes you to this projector right here in the police station on Golva.
Operatia Inversia. Did Requiem tell you of it? Did Weaver? If they didn't, I am not surprised. For a long time we didn't know what it was. If it was even real. But Ravenov, he told me he found it. This must be it. The missile silo in Ruka.
Horde eliminated. Requiem sends their thanks.
There was truth in the rumors after all. Ravenov heard Omega was developing something called the Reality Inversion Warhead. It is not difficult to decipher their purpose. Imagine being able to open a dark ether breach and create an outbreak zone wherever you wanted. All by firing a missile. The electromagnetic interference generated from the tempests would mean the West could never see it coming. No preemptive response. No mutually assured destruction. The course of history could change overnight. You must travel to Ruka. Find Ravenov. We must try to stop this.
Alright, so there is the last monkey spawn right here on us. It's going to be over near this crystal. The crystals don't always spawn, but if you actually run around and do the crystal missions, basically there's going to be about 12 or so depending on how many people are in the lobby. You can get a free tool to upgrade a weapon to the next tier. So for example, if you're purple, it'll take your gun to legendary. So once everyone's prepared, basically we're just going to start this. We're all going to look for those little crystals. For example, there's going to be one there, and you can see as you shoot it, it sort of moves to the next area. So there's one there and one inside the building also. And then there's going to be others all around the place. And we're all just sort of searching around, searching for them. Alright, so let's get this area cleared out quick. And the piece is going to be on top of the truck right here. All you do is walk up to it and boom, your gun is automatically legendary. Alright, so there is no phone call this time. Literally all we have to do is warp. Make sure you're not upgrading your weapon. And then we should be good to go. Now it is guaranteed to go back to Ruka.
Still in one piece? Good. You've been here before, yes? I trust you know your way to the silo. If those missiles are here,
Thanks.
that's where you find Ravenov.
So basically this round, I recommend just fishing, doing whatever you can to get the best weapons that you have. For example, you mind, buddy. We're sitting here doing a video. Sometimes you can get upgrades like that. That's basically going to take your gun into the next tier. I went ahead and marked it for my buddy. I did, however, get a ray gun gave to me from one of my friends since we had a little bit of issue finding decent weapons in this run. But we'll be mostly using the ray gun for the boss fight. Alright, so once you have done all the objectives around the area, hit the mystery box, try to do the best you can at everything else. You want to come over to this little building here. And basically you have to walk inside the elevator. You cannot drive a car inside of that, however. No matter how hard you try. And basically, you are locked into the Easter egg from this point on. There is Pack-a-Punch, armor upgrade, jug machine, everything else is down here, or Wonder Fist, sorry.
If those warheads do what we think, Omega, the Soviets, could destabilize the West. If one of those impacts Washington or New York, it could create an outbreak zone big enough to consume the East Coast. It would throw the West into chaos. It would end the Cold War, but at a terrible cost. We cannot let that happen.
Alright, so basically it's just breaching and clearing. There is going to be a whole lot of zombies down here, so from this point on, get ready to fight all the way through. Alright.
Looks like Ravenov left a trail of breadcrumbs to follow. Murdered Omega breadcrumbs.
So our first goal is going all the way over to Alpha, which is going to be up the stairs into the middle area and then back across. You can tell which letter you're at based on, see how there's a D there. When you're running through this little corridor, there'll be letters at the very top to know which way you are actually going. And you're going to want to hop down over into this area here, and you'll see a little main mission marker point pop up on the wall there, and you just come over here and hit the button and it's going to automatically activate the cutscene.
All personnel return to station.
Requiem! Where is Maxis?
I'm here, still being held by Requiem. They don't want me in the field.
They do not trust you. But we do know what is at stake, yes? Somehow, Beck found a way to supercharge the crystal's power for his warheads. By using those crystalline creatures.
If the warheads at this facility were to detonate, they would trigger an inversion in this reality, creating outbreak zones wherever Omega chooses.
It is no use. I cannot launch the missiles from here. I need you to find the keys. That is the only way we can put an end to Operatia Inversia. Maxis, is there anywhere in particular you want to see destroyed?
This power is too dangerous for either Omega or Requiem to possess. So I say, we dump them in the middle of the Pacific.
Sounds like a plan. Go. Find the launch keys. I will prep the missiles.
Alright, so now that is done, you want to head down to the bottom. Alright, so you see we're on Bravo at the moment.
Requiem will have problem with this.
Do not worry about Requiem. It is the right
There's
thing
going to be
do.
this little crystal jar right here.
You and
I'm
I
going to go and
both
pop
know
that
this.
open. And basically, this is going to be the key for Bravo. So you run around and pick up all the crystals. So it'll be little crystals right here on the ground. I think it takes about 25 or so.
Unable to resist picking up this shiny thing, I see. Perhaps there is a use for it. If we find more.
And they're going to be on each level, so you're basically just going to have to run around, make sure you're going in the silo, and looking on all the walls and everything. Alright, so just make sure you're clearing stuff out. And basically, anyone can pick them up, and only one person has to put them in, so it doesn't actually have to have one person picking up everything. Alright, so let's head all the way back upstairs and look for a couple more crystals. Now, there are going to be these little clusters inside here. Those don't actually drop any crystals. It's going to only be the main ones that like stick out quite a bit. And they do start respawning, it seems like, on the bottom side. So if you think you collected all of them and then see there's a couple more behind you, you can always get those again. Alright, so let's just do one more final pass, making sure everything's all clear. It's clear. You want to run over to the machine and you hold X on Xbox One. Or I'm assuming you just hold whatever button it tells you on PC or PS4. And you can see it slowly counting down. There are going to be things spawning in while you're doing this, so make sure you're actually aiming behind you and protecting yourself. And then basically it's going to start a whole fight sequence because you have to keep it protected while it's doing whatever it's supposed to be doing. Alright, so let's just clear out the area. If you have a Howard shotgun, this gun normally does fantastic on round 5, so this is probably a pretty good weapon to take into the boss fight. Same with any ray guns, ray Ks, any new gun added to the game, since normally they're not always balanced as good. So you want to take a Ethereum crystal.
Gun instead of Ethereum. This is to put a target on your back, I guess. All Guardian drops to do is get these creatures' attention.
Maybe that's what we want to do.
Now that it's all hectic, we have to head all the way back to A like we were talking about earlier. Alright, so we're going to go a little bit different path. Try to be a little bit safer. Let's see here. So he's blocking that stairwell. We're just going to have to go up this way then. So you want to run all the way up here. You can take the rope also, but we ended up just taking the stairs. Now, once you have the crystal jar, you want to head over to Delta, like this little bluish purple grass on the ground, and that's how you know you're in the right area. When you're running through this area though, however, there's going to be a ton of mimics pop up, so be super careful. That is for one of the keys later on. None of these mimics actually carry it, but just keep that in mind. Alright, so he seems to be doing good, so we're just going to leave him with the mimics. Head on over to Delta. And let's see what we can find. So you want to hop down. Looking for the right stairs. See how that one doesn't have any glow to it? It's this one over here in the corner. So you want to run all the way up to the very top. The Ethereum upgrade that we have on us has 2 shots, but you basically run over here and hit it.
One of the creatures Omega captured with the Dark Ether brought back for study.
You'll know you're in the right spot whenever there's grass on the stairs.
It is majestic. I will give it that.
Majestic. It looks trapped. Alone. Scared. Probably hungry. You got its attention. Now,
So there's
grab
going to
the
be
key.
one body there, and if you look behind you, there's going to be a second body with a key on it.
That Ethereum works, Ravenov. We've recovered the key.
Horosho, we are making progress. 2 more remain.
Alright, so that key is now fully taken care of. So if we head back over into the middle area, where the mimics were spawning in, there's going to be a little corridor to where there's going to be a dead guy on the ground, which is going to spawn a mimic that has a lot more health than an average mimic, but it is going to get us our second key to make sure everything in the area is cleared out, because it is going to be a little bit tougher fight. Alright, so all those dudes are taken care of. All the corridors have red on them, so it's kind of hard to see, but it's the one over here with the tunnel blocked off completely. It'll spawn this big guy, and it's just going to take a whole lot of bullets. Even with the power shotgun, he is not dying quickly. Alright, so we got down to about half health. And right about there.
I see you have still not lost your thirst for slaughter.
Well, that mimic did not make it easy, but we secured
Alright, so now let's head over to Alpha.
One more. We are making good time. I have nearly completed retargeting.
And in this little red hallway here, there's going to be a little box.
An essence trap. Someone has made some code modifications. I guess you are all set if you get hungry.
Alright, so basically we just need to clear out the area first to make sure the monkey's nice and safe. If you've done the Firebase Z Easter egg where you have to capture the mimics, so you're used to it. Basically you throw it on the ground, double tap X to capture it. But there'll be a little monkey that we have to place it for, and you want to make sure the area is cleared out so you don't have to necessarily accidentally get something wrong in it. Make sure you're picking up all the spare armors you find around the world. If you have stuff to increase the drop rate on stuff, armor and things like that are more likely to drop. So basically you want to run around looking at things all the way at the top here and seeing if you can have a monkey spawn. Alright, so there's another menu. Need to make sure we clear everything out fully. And was that just a flying zombie? Alright, so there's the monkey. We want to make sure we had that Mingler dead though. Thought he was behind us. He go somewhere else? I mean, looks clear. Ah, there you are, buddy. Alright, so let's take care of you real quick. Then we'll be able to get the monkey. So basically for the monkey, you want to try to throw the trap as close to him as possible while being as far away from him as possible. So you want to give it plenty of room, so something about all the way back here on this pole for good distance wise.
Scanning for target.
Who doesn't love a
And the
banana?
monkey's going to go down.
Target in
Need
range.
the banana.
Target captured.
This will capture. You can literally just walk up to it and grab the third key.
Target lost. Trap destroyed. Looks like we trapped our monkey Ravenel. Now, we have the key.
Horashaya Rabota. I have finished prepping the missiles. Just need to initiate launch sequence. Since you have keys, you do the honors.
Alright, so basically you want to fight around here until you hear this launch sequence initiated. Each of the silos will have one at Alpha, Bravo, and Delta. And it'll be this little machine here. So basically it's just a trial and error to guess which one it is. My buddies are hitting Bravo and Delta for us. That way we can just try to get the sequence done. You just keep basically doing it in the correct order. If you have a wrong area, you're going to have to fight a whole bunch of the zombies.
Yeah, obstructions? This fucking place. Now what? The hatches were clear when I arrived. Get to the surface and remove the obstructions. We do not wish to inverse half
Alright, so
of
basically
Russia.
once you've done that, you are locked into the final boss fight. So you want to head back to the main room, and there's going to be a stairwell going up. You want to head up the stairs. Once you're prepared, you need to get all of your armor, ammo, perks, everything needs to be prepared for this final boss fight. And as soon as you come up the stairs, you're locked in.
Not bad. Thank you.
What the hell? Look at the sky. Maxis, have you ever seen the likes of this?
No, this is different. Those tempests. What are they doing?
Alright, so it's going to spawn on a really big dude. If you're curious, the ammo box is going to be right around the corner there. If you do run out of ammo, thankfully you do have a way to get some up here.
Mother of God. Did you know they could do that?
So our goal is going to be shooting the little blue circle on his chest when he's not kneeled down, basically.
It may be responsible for the obstruction. If we kill it, perhaps that could destroy the crystals that
You need to do a
block
certain
the
amount of damage for him to kneel down before you can actually hurt him. So even though it's not actually taking his health bar down, it is actually doing something. So this is why I recommend all the players using fire for their main special ability, because the fire helps you do a ton more damage. We've attempted to do it with the grass on the ground, the thorn perk, and all the other perks, but the fire just seems to work the best for the boss fight. But make sure while you're actually fighting him that you're looking around for him and making sure you're not about to die in the process. See how he's kneeled down here? So if you have everyone focus on one of the light orbs and a ring of fire, you should be able to take one out, especially during this round. But you can sometimes even damage the second or third one
Like true
while it's
Russian,
going
you
up.
fight with heart and mind. If you destroy the orb, destroy the crystal.
That is one of them. A start, but still 2 more to go.
As she said, there will be 2 more to go. So basically you want to run around. The less time you guys spend having to do this, the less zombies are going to be spawned up top. So basically, if you're able to finish it above the 5-minute mark, there's going to be a lot less zombies. If you start running really low on time, there's going to be a lot bigger zombies. But since he's kneeling down, you want to just focus all you can on those orbs. If you down with a ray gun, the good news is you should be able to use your pack punch ray gun on the ground. So if you can, get your hands on a ray gun, the standard ray gun, I recommend having all your players at least pack a punch it once and then swapping it to the next player. That way everyone will have a ray gun whenever they're down, unless they have another small pistol that they're using instead. Alright, so just clearing the area out. Let's see here. That's done. Alright, that looks pretty safe. So far we've only taken 1 orb out, but the other orb has a ton of damage that we've already done to it, so we're in a pretty good spot right here. We have 5.5 minutes left, so we're not in too much of a time crunch. Alright, buddy, go and do your thing. And basically he is going to teleport all around this little area that we're in, so you're going to have to search around for him. Just like that, we sort of caught it like the very end of the tailwind, so we sort of missed out on a little bit of damage, but thankfully he was able to get nailed down.
We may yet live to see another day.
There is still 1 left, and time is running out.
Alright, so now that we are under the 5-minute mark, some of the bigger guys are going to start spawning in more frequently.
Requiem. Do I need to tell you what happens if you don't clear the hatches?
She sure is rushing us an awful lot. And if you use a helicopter, it doesn't necessarily work too good on the boss fight. You might be able to run away and not take damage like that. But other than that, it's not really going to be out too much. Alright, so you want to try to be focusing on the boss, but you probably, if you're in a 4-person game, at least having 1 person focus on the ads around the area will help you out too. Alright, so basically, he teleported somewhere? Oh, he's kneeled down. I didn't even notice that. Alright, so it's probably going to take 1 to 2 waves, especially if we have not even paid attention to see where he was. I saw him the last second in the video, but I did not see it while I was playing. So now that there's a decent amount of damage, we still have plenty of time. As long as you're on the last stage, once you get into like 3.5-minute mark or so, you're looking pretty good. Alright, so he's going to kneel down, we all get into the fire, and we lay into the final ring right there. And you should be able to fully kill him.
The killing blow! The crystals are destroyed! Hoorah! Hatch is clear for missile launch.
Good. Send these missiles to the bottom of the ocean. No one should possess such power.
So, according to Agent Maxis, y'all need a ride out of here. I reckon Weaver's pretty pissed at her going behind his back and all, but there weren't no way I was gonna leave y'all hanging.
And that is going to be it for today, guys. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.